Well, today we're looking at a real favorite in the Canadian marketplace, the Mazda3, their compact hatch or sedan. And for 2017, it gets an update and a facelift, and a really quite mild one at that. On the outside, the front of the car gets a new bumper and grille and headlight treatment. What they've tried to do is make the opening at the front wider. The V is now wider, the bumper is wider and lower, and now you get LED headlamps available on this top GT trim. Now, you'd be forgiven for not noticing these changes, and I didn't at first, but when you point them out, you actually do see them. Same thing around the back. They wanted to make the car look a little wider and lower and seem grounded to the road, so they've made the bumper more of a horizontal look than a vertical look, and it's the same with the front. You notice on this car, it's got 18-inch wheels. They're new 18-inch wheels for 2017. If you get the lower trim cars, the 16-inch alloys and hubcaps remain the same. So the facelift really is mild. What has the Mazda3 got going in its favor? Well, first and foremost, it's a car for people who like to drive. If you're just looking for an appliance, there's plenty of those out there that do a good job of A to B transportation. But if you're looking for some fun behind the wheel, an energetic car, a spirited drive, above average handling, and above average interior, I think the Mazda3 might be for you. Now, as I said off the beginning, this is a mild refresh for Mazda. They wanted to get something new into the marketplace to counteract some stiff competition, especially from Honda, winning all the awards with the new Civic, and they've done a very mild interior update. The steering wheel has changed. It's the same steering wheel you get with the Mazda CX-9. They claim it's more ergonomically correct. Now, the nicest thing about this is on the middle trim and higher, a heated steering wheel comes standard equipment. That's great news, but it's only heated really between 9 and 3. The top and bottom of the steering wheel are not heated at all. But I'll take that over no heated steering at all. The center console is being updated mildly. They've gone to an electronic parking brake. Not always a fan of that, but it's there. They've also added some padding around the center here where the controller unit is. It's a little bit more comfortable. And some very minor tweaks on the inside to give it a little bit of a lift, like some satin around the switches and on the door handles. Now, I've always said that Mazda does sort of class above interiors, and I still believe that with this Mazda3, even though it's been out for a few years. You get things like a control unit in the center, which keeps fingerprints off the center screen. Center screen has had a mild update as well with a slightly different look to it. You can see with the two-tone seats, it looks fantastic. Don't get cream, trust me on that. If you have dark denim jeans, you have to clean them all the time. You also have a heads-up display. It's not really a heads-up display. It's a flip-up screen you get in the instrument cluster. I don't really like it. I like a real projected one, but it's up to you whether you like that or not. To me, I don't find it's really that useful. The back seat of this car is still a little bit smaller than, for example, the new Honda Civic hatchback. That has a bigger back seat. This one still is a little tight. The cargo area around the back isn't as big as some of the competition either. But the way it drives is still top-notch. All right, this Mazda 3 Sport comes in two flavors. You get the regular base 2-liter engine, 155 horsepower, or you can upgrade to this 2.5-liter GT, and that gets you to 184 horsepower. So that's good, and both run on regular gas. And the comparison I'm going to make is with the new Honda Civic hatchback, because this is going to be one of the main competitors to this car. Now, that base engine on the Honda Civic is the 1.5 turbo with 174 horsepower, so much more than the base Mazda 3, but it's less than this GT. And if you want to get the sportier versions of the Honda Civic hatchback, they require premium fuel to get 180 horsepower. So just putting that out there. Now, one of the main objectives with this car in the update was to bring the advanced safety features that everybody's demanding down to a lower price point. So now on the middle GS trim is where you get all the advanced stuff: forward collision warning and braking, automatic braking, lane keep assist, lane departure warning, all of those features, including blind spot warning. So that's good, and it's a direct competitor now when you match it up almost dollar for dollar with that Honda Civic. Now, updates to this car, there are a bunch that you just are not going to see, but you might notice when you're driving it. First and foremost, they tried to make the car quieter. Can't really tell unless I have the old one here. I'll take their word for it. Also, they changed the suspension to have a little bit of a softer turn-in, and what that allows the new oil-filled dampers to do and the sway bars to do their work once the car rotates over. So initial dampening is a little bit milder, which for many people driving in the city will definitely notice. Now, what's really new is a system called G vectoring control. So what happens is when you turn in or you lift off the throttle, The computer for the engine uses the torque to help pivot the car over onto the front wheels. Now, anybody that knows how to drive at a higher speed knows when you're going, say, through canyons in the mountains, before you come to the corner, you want to either trail brake or just dab the brake a little bit to get the car to pivot over. So what this system's trying to do with the torque in the engine is to have the car do a little bit of that pivoting for you. So that's definitely an upside. But what this car really excels at is just everyday driving and having a little bit of fun. There is good communication back to the driver. They've updated the electric power steering to give a little bit more feedback, and that's definitely welcome. So all of these updates you're not going to notice unless you have the old car to drive against this brand new 2017, but right away when you get behind the wheel, you know that this is a car meant for drivers. Now, one area that Mazda has a bit of a leg up is they offer a lower price car with lower horsepower. So if you get the base Mazda 3 Sport, it starts at just under $20,000, where that new Honda Civic hatchback starts at $21,000, but it comes with a more powerful 1.5 liter turbo engine as standard. If you get this 2.5 liter in the Mazda 3, it comes with more horsepower, but it also comes with a higher price tag. This is a driver's car, so if you like to go out and have some fun on your daily commute, you owe it to yourself to try the Mazda 3.